Hello, welcome back to Memory Space. This is Frog speaking. Right now we have some words that share the root CAPIT, meaning head, and we have some prefixes and suffixes are combined with the root to form these words, and they are labeled with either CAFR levels or the journal academic levels, namely elementary level, middle school level, high school level, college level, and post-college level. Alright, so as usual, let's dive into the root itself. So we have the root CAPIT. We have the root CAPIT, followed by L. In this case is an adjective suffix, and followed by is, which is a variance of us. So we have a is, us, or variance, or are. In this case is an adjective suffix. Remember this group has many other possibilities, since it could be past participle suffix. That is, it could not only be an adjective suffix, but also as a verb suffix. And it could also be used as a noun suffix, meaning somebody or something. So in this case, it's just an adjective suffix. Alright, so we have the building block CAPIT, meaning head. And of course, head could have many derived meanings. For example, it could mean the man, the chief, the first, or the dominant. But use the head itself is good enough. So we have the root CAPIT, meaning head. That's gonna help us to unlock many words. Alright, so what's the first word we're gonna study today? So the first word is capitalism. Let me change the color. Capitalism. Alright, capitalism. Capitalism. Capital. The first schwa sound or ism is the second sound of ism. We add a schwa sound for the blending purpose. So, capitalism. Alright, so we have the root CAPIT, meaning head. And we have L. In this case, as a noun suffix, it means connected to or associated with somebody or something. And as an adjective, it means relating to something. So in this case, I preferred to use noun suffix. As a noun suffix, it means connected to or associated with something. Alright, and lastly we have ism, the noun suffix ism. And this suffix has many meanings. It could be used as the same as ion in state, condition, process, or result. It could also mean usage. Or it could also mean the same as X. It's a set or a body of principles or knowledge. Now, let me write down the set of or the body of principles or knowledge. Alright, so capitalism. Capitalism literally means what? It literally means the set of body of principles or knowledge about something associated with the head or a head. In this case, a head means an individual person or individual entity. Alright, so capitalism, right now, the set of the body of principles about something. About what? About business, or property. Notice you could think it as money. So the body of principles. The body of principles about business or property or money associated with what? Associated with a head. That is an individual entity. An individual entity. Or an individual person. Alright, so capitalism. The body of principles about business or property is money associated with a head, individual entity or person. Right, that's the interpretation of capitalism from the etymology. Alright, since it's a good enough representation or interpretation as the word capitalism. You got a meaning, that's the key. Alright, so next we have capital. Capital. Again, we have the first lazy vowel sound and the second lazy vowel sound. It is a sound and is sound. Capital. Since every vowel may say one of the lazy vowel sound, or e, in an unstressed syllable or unstressed word. Alright, so capital. We have the root capit, meaning head. And we have L. That's a noun suffix, meaning connected to or associated with something. Connected to or associated with something. So capital literally means what? It means something connected to, something associated with a head, individual person. So for example, we could have, let's say, something associated with, the same as the previous one, we have business. Say business. Or property. Associated with associated with a head. I mean, money. So for example, we could say, let's say, the government imposed the new measure to do what? To attract foreign capital. Alright, the government imposed for the measures. The government imposed the measure or the new measure to attract foreign capital. Alright, we have the second meaning. Be, let's say the city or a city. Capital could be a city. A city associated with what? With or the head. The head of what? Of all cities. Of a country. Or for example, we could say in the Taipei city. Taipei city is the capital of Republic of China, is known as Taiwan. Republic of China. Alright. Taipei City is the capital of Taiwan, Republic of China. Alright, and we have what? We could have the third meaning. Let's say a letter. A letter associated with what? With the head of what? Of a sentence. So capital means the capital letters. We say capital or capital letters. So according to the grammar rules, the first letter of a sentence should begin as the capital letters. We have, it means a letter associated with the head of the sentence. That's the beginning of the sentence. We have a sentence, the beginning of a sentence, that character, that letter should be uppercase letters. Alright. Alright, next we have capitalist. Capitalist. Capital. Or capitalist is capitalist. Alright, again we have the root CAPIT. CAPIT meaning head. And we have L meaning connected to or associated with something as a noun suffix. Connected or associate with something. And lastly, we have ist. The noun suffix meaning somebody who is specialized in something. So capitalist is some kind of expert, somebody who is specialized in what? In something, like something about business or about the property associated with a head, an individual person or entity. Alright, so capitalist means somebody who is specialized in what? In expanding business, expanding business property, money, for example. So somebody who is specialized in expanding business property or money associated with a head. That is an individual entity. Cool. So capitalist to be using a much more simpler word means a wealthy guy, a rich person, capitalist, or someone who obtains quite large amounts of capital. Alright, somebody who is specialized in expanding business, property, or money associated with a head, an individual entity or person. Alright, and we have next word, capitalistic. 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 Alright, capitalistic. And we have again the root capit, meaning head. And we have L, adjective, suffix, no, in this case, noun suffix, meaning connected to or associate with something as a noun suffix. And we have ism. And now suffix ism. In this case, is used as x. So it could be used as an ion, or it could mean usage, or x. As in physics, means a set of body of principles. A set of or body of principles or knowledge. Alright, and lastly we have ic. And adjective suffix ic is a variant of ic or artic, meaning relating to something. So capitalistic literally means what? It means relating to a body of principles about business, property, or money associated with a head. That's it. So relating to the set of the body of principles about what? About business, properties, or property, control, property or money associated with what? With a head. Or an individual entity. An individual entity or person. All right, so for example, we could say, let's say the United States of America. The United States of America is a capitalistic country. This country. Whereas China or and Russia, they follow other kind of system called communism. So we have the prefix com, meaning together or completely, and mon is a variant of mot, meaning to change. So communism means a set or a body of principles about changing all business or all the properties together. So in other words, the individual don't have their personal properties. All right, so communist compared with capitalism. All right, next. Next we have capitulate, 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 capitulate. 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 Alright, capitulate. And he says the first sound of ch, relent for the blending purpose, because capitulate is more easier to pronounce than capitulate. That's it. So capitulate. And C says k, because it's not followed by EI or Y. So it says k in this case, thus. Right, what should I say now? Other reasons for the spelling purpose? No. Right, oh, this one, 8. The phonogram A says it's A sound, the long A sound, because of a sudden final E for the first sudden final E rules. Alright, so we have CAPIT. The root CAPIT, meaning head. And we have fuel, no suffix, fuel, meaning small, as a diminutive noun suffix. Diminutive means something that's small, so fuel or coal or cula or what? Fuel, coal, cula. What's that? Alright, meaning small. As a diminutive noun suffix. Mean diminutive. Diminutive noun suffix. And lastly, we have A. In this case, it's a verb suffix. So capitulate literally means what? It means to have a small head. That is, to have a small head. So what it means to have a small head? To have a small head. So to have a small head, it actually means to surrender. To surrender. So you could imagine a guy kneel down, leaning forward, and put his or her hands on the back of his head. That is to have a small head. The gesture, or the pose of surrender. Alright, so capitulate. For example, we could say, let's say, her mom finally capitulated and what? And let her marry her beloved one. Marry her beloved one. Alright, her mom finally capitulated and let her marry her beloved one. Alright, so it just means Her mom surrendered, give up, and let her marry her beloved. Don't insist. Don't resist anymore. Alright, so let's take a break.